Hey guys, I'm here to talk with you about the interesting topic of shields in RLCraft. For most players, shields are an incredibly valuable resource for early game, but are still mainly shrouded in mystery whether they are good or not for an endgame character. Are they necessary? What is their best use? Well, today I will explain everything I know about shields in RLCraft and tell you why they're kind of game-breakingly OP with the right enchantments. Shields are the strongest defensive component in all of RLCraft, even beating out armor, but shields also are one of the strongest offensive tools in the entire mod pack. With an enchanted shield, a good melee weapon that you do not even need to swing, and a bit of luck, a player will take no damage at all in RLCraft even when wearing no armor, and you will demolish practically all enemies in your path. There are two amazing shields in RLCraft that I'm going to explain, but I will first explain the by far stronger of the two shields. That shield being the Diamond Tower Shield or Diamond Reinforced Shield with the following enchantments. Empowered Defense 4, Natural Blocking 3, Burning Shield 4, Spikes 3, Advanced Mending, Unbreaking 3, Knockback 2, Curse of Possession, and upgraded potentials just for that extra ninth enchantment. The second strongest shield in the game I will explain later. This first shield, though, is all you need. Before explaining what the enchantments do, I will just tell you exactly why this shield is so game-breaking, because the power of the shield actually comes from taking advantage of a single enchantment on it, and that enchantment is Empowered Defense 4. This enchantment will damage all enemies that attack your shield, and this damage is actually calculated off of how hard the enemy is hitting you, and this reflect damage effect is affected by the enchantments on your main hand weapon. See where I'm going with this? If you are wielding even just an Envenomed and Viper main weapon and have a Poison Stone Bauble equipped, you will be completely obliterating enemies in your world just by blocking their attacks. Supreme Sharpness, Subject PE, Lifesteal, and other damage enchantments will also increase your reflect blocking damage this way. The harder the enemy hits, and the better your main hand weapon, the more apparent the shield's strength is. Dragons and sea serpents tend to 3 to 5 shot themselves if you have a strong melee weapon, and tier 5 dragons still completely obliterate themselves against your shield. You do not even need to attack. The reflect damage from empowered defense will do all the work for you. Needless to say, your shield's durability will not last forever though, so having advanced mending and unbreaking 3 on the shield is incredibly helpful, if not a necessity, for when you take this shield with you on long adventures. This most likely was not an intended game mechanic to be taken advantage of this way, but it is pretty fun and it alone makes shields incredibly powerful. Empowered Defense 4 also gives your shield some of the neat other effects, such as granting your shield a chance to not be disabled by things such as axes, knocking enemies back when blocking their attacks, and also giving your shield a small chance to not be damaged by enemy attacks, so it has a bit of an unbreaking effect as well, which will help a lot. The other enchantments on this god shield though are still really useful because shields in RLCraft oftentimes do not block every attack. I would say maybe only like 95%. To make sure you are as safe as possible, Natural Blocking 3 is a must on your shield as it will block pretty much 100% of damage taken at times, but this damage will go to your shield's durability. So make sure to indeed have Advanced Mending and Unbreaking if you want to abuse the Natural Blocking 3 enchantment. Advanced Mending will heal your shield's durability with a bit of XP you gain, and Unbreaking 3 will allow your shield less of a chance to take durability damage when in use. Now on to explaining the other 4 supporting enchantments, starting with Burning Shield 4 and Spikes 3. These enchantments also reflect a bit of damage when blocking, but the damage is not nearly as strong as Empowered Defenses, as this blocking and damage is not affected by your weapon's enchantments. The damage still works though, and all of these enchantments do indeed stack. Spikes 3 inflicts maybe 5 base damage or so, and Burning Shield 4 reflects about 6 base damage on normal enemies like zombies, but depending on enemy defenses these numbers fluctuate a bit but still remain fairly low. Burning Shield 4 also sets enemies on fire who attack the shield though, which can be very useful at times. Now on to Knockback 2. This enchantment doesn't really do much on a shield, but when you shield bash with this shield, which you can do by left clicking while blocking with your shield, you will knock opponents back pretty far, which can be good as a last ditch effort to escape from certain scenarios if absolutely necessary. But these situations are very few and far between. Lastly, Curse of Possession. Since Empowered Defense functions as a melee attack, you could very well get disarmed by some rare and higher enemies if you are unlucky, so having Curse of Possession will make your item unable to leave your inventory even when being disarmed helps a lot. All of these enchantments are useful on the shield in their own way and 100% make for the strongest defensive item in the game, and when paired with a good melee weapon, the shield is an incredible force to be reckoned with. The next shield I will mention is only because I want to cover as many shield grounds in this video as possible, but I will only briefly mention the shield as I do not recommend making it unless you just want to use it up against Rahalvart, which is its only amazing use. The shield is still okay, but not nearly as good as the previously described one, and since the shield does not technically block damage, but instead decreases damage taken by a lot, many of these enchantments do not even work properly on it. The shield in question is the big shield with the exact same enchantments as the first shield I described, except for you will replace the enchantments Knockback 2 and Spikes 3 with the enchantments Spellproof 3 and Reflection 3. Most of the enchantments on the shield do not actually work properly though, because the big shield actually blocks around 80 to 90% of damage or so, rather than straight up blocking attacks. What is worse though is that the other 10 to 20% of damage actually goes to your armor's durability, so without mending on your armor, I wouldn't even recommend going for the shield. Because of the shield just decreasing damage taken, all enchantments involving blocking are rendered practically useless, besides Reflection 3, which is only about as strong as Spikes 3 anyway. The shield does have incredible durability though. Even without unbreaking, it seems to rarely take damage, making your armor take the damage instead. But seeing as it can't even protect you 100% from attacks, it isn't useful for most scenarios. The reason this shield works well against Rahalvart though is Spellproof 3. This enchantment blocks magic damage. This effect alone blocks pretty much 100% of Rahalvart's magic damage. The most notorious Rahalvart damage rotation is cast in Stage 3 in the form of a large green firewall that is completely magic damage that spins around him. After being in the fire for a solid period of time, it will rotate away from you if you haven't already ran away from it, and you will no longer take damage. If you block this damage with a Spellproof 3 big shield, then you will be completely fine, and the shield has enough durability, even without unbreaking, to tank the entire duration of the skill a few times over. Spellproof 3 is a shield enchantment only available on the big shield and the round shield, however, and it will not work on a normal shield. Besides this niche region though, being slowed down while blocking, only blocking 80% or so damage, and empowered defenses blocking damage not working on the big shield, these are too big of drawbacks for the big shield to be great for most situations. If anything, Spellproof 3 is what's OP, and the big shield is not OP. I still wanted to mention the big shield though, because it is a bit of neat information for any RLCraft veteran who wants to add to their library of in-game knowledge. With that, I'm going to wrap up. Hopefully now you know about how incredibly overpowered shields can potentially be in RLCraft. A Diamond Tower shield with empowered defense and natural blocking on it is insanely powerful already, and with Unbreaking, Mending, and Curse of Possession, you will pretty much never lose your shield. I personally like the Tower shield more because it feels like it blocks more damage, but the Reinforced shield gives you better vision when blocking. The only way the shield has broken from my testing as well from losing durability is if you try to block Rahalvart's damage rotation by holding up your shield. While you block the damage just as efficiently as the big shield does, if not even more efficiently, the shield will indeed break very fast without being able to block the entire rotation if you get unlucky with your Unbreaking RNG. Rahalvart's damage really damages the shield hard. You will pretty much just defeat Rahalvart in 30 seconds or less though if you get this far in the game to make that OP shield though, so you should never run into the problem of your shield breaking against Rahalvart anyways. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and now know one more fun and OP thing that can help you in your RLCraft journeys. Take care of yourselves and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
One too many quarters in my pockets, count 'em like the 4-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah, just tripping on day. Dreams got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.